Good morning. It is time for just a word from the Word. Before I got started, I wanted to make sure that it was really streaming to both Facebook and YouTube due to the problems that we had yesterday. But it is time for just a word from the Word. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Our passage this morning comes from the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 2, verse 6. This is Solomon um, speaking. And he says, this is from the English Standard Version, but who is able to build him, God, a house, since heaven, even highest heaven, cannot contain him? Who am I to build a house for him except as a place to make offerings before him? Solomon had this amazing high view of God, how great God is, how amazing and vast and powerful God is. And though it was in Solomon's heart to build a house for the Lord, he recognized that a house, any building, that he could build, no matter how great, no matter how majestic. And Solomon's temple was pretty big. No matter how amazing that the temple was, there was no way that it could house really the presence of the Lord. God is just too big. But Solomon hits on the purpose of a house for the Lord. And it just struck me this morning as I was reading through Second Chronicles 2 that why do we even bother building a house for the Lord when He's so great, when He's so massive, when our little tiny structures, even the biggest church buildings that are around, our tiny structures cannot hold all of the presence of the Lord. Yet Solomon hits it. He hits the nail right on the head when he says, who am I to build a house for him except as a place to make offerings before him? When I read that, and I could just, ding, 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 ding. I hear these bells and sirens going off in my head and in my spirit that says, this is the purpose for the house of the Lord, to bring an offering before him, a pleasing sacrifice, a place to offer incense of worship before the Lord. You go on through the rest of chapter 2 and into chapter 3. Solomon makes provisions to build the house of the Lord, to build a palace for himself, with the whole idea of this is as good as I can do. I can't really make something, great enough for the greatness of our God, but I can prepare a beautiful building where we can offer up sacrifices, offer worship to this great God that we serve. And that brings us to this morning's just a word from the Word. I don't care how huge of a church that you go to. I don't care how small of a church that you go to. I grew up in a pretty large church. I've attended tiny churches where we were just ecstatic when we had 20 people. I've seen the gamut as far as sizes of church buildings and sizes of congregation, but the purpose has never changed, regardless of size. And that's what I want to remind you to do today. When you go to the house of the Lord, whether you have a midweek service this week or you're waiting until Sunday, whenever you go to the house of the Lord, purpose in your heart to do and to connect with what the real purpose of a house of worship is for. It's for worship. It's for sacrifice. It's for offering the sacrifice of our praise and our worship to the God of the universe. He's so high. He's so big. He's so powerful. No one house can contain him. And yet, when we bring our worship to him, he inhabits the praises of his people. So the next time you walk into the house of the Lord, go in with the mentality of the purpose for my being here is to give an offering, to give a sacrifice of praise to this great God and King. Do that. That's the purpose. You will bless God, and in turn, He will bless you. This has been just a word from the Word. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Announcements. I am teaching Sunday at the church. We're going to talk about Father's Day. That's as far as details as I'm going to give you for that. You got to come and hear it. Pastor, I hope, will be preaching worship service. You won't want to miss that. And then, as I've been saying, there's going to be a couple weeks. I'll give you those dates here soon. Not going to give you those dates right now, but I will be taking off 2 weeks in July from doing devotions, just to give myself a little bit of break, to take some vacation and a rest. So God bless you. Have a beautiful day, and Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow.